All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the October Wellness webinar. I'm Laura Maloof Miller, a wellness program manager at HealthNet, and of course, Kristen Kayla is on the line as well. We always start the webinar with a few housekeeping items. The first one is everybody is muted upon entry. That's to avoid any of the background noise. At the end of the webinar, there will be an anonymous short survey, so your feedback is greatly appreciated. We'll be using the chat today, so if you have any questions, and when we get to the using the chat, just make sure you chat to hosts and panelists. And everybody who registered for this webinar will receive a link to the recording in just a few days. All right, our topic today, holiday self-care essentials. The holiday season is soon going to be here. It can be really joyful, but it also can be really overwhelming. So today's webinar really is designed to help you manage the stress and also to stay balanced during this super busy time. Please keep in mind the information provided in this presentation is intended solely for the general information of the audience. It's not medical advice and shall not replace consultation with your physician or other qualified health provider. If you have any health-related questions or problems, please seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider. So today, we're going to explore some simple, effective strategies for managing holiday stress. So this includes mindfulness, time management, healthy habits, and setting boundaries. I'm going to share some tips for building a support system and navigating expectations. In addition, I'm going to highlight the importance of maintaining your well-being through balanced eating, quality sleep, and moments of relaxation. This right now is the perfect opportunity for you to start thinking about your personalized self-care plan so that you can approach the season with greater ease and well-being. So using the chat, what is the biggest holiday stressor for you? Sometimes it's time. We don't have enough time. Maybe you're caring for family or family that's going to be your hosting. It's so entertaining. Maybe you don't like the family that's coming, so family conflict, or maybe you're traveling. Maybe you've got a hectic schedule. You know, at the end of the year, we're always trying to finish up with our work projects. Could be weather. It could be just the gift giving can cause you a lot of stress, or even maybe the feeling of loss or sadness. So go ahead and use the chat, and Kristen will read out some of the responses anonymously. So feel free to use the chat. Maybe it's money or budgets, not being away from with your family because you know you live too far away. So let me know some of the
Sure.
chats.
So, family visiting, scheduling all the things, money, experiencing increased symptoms of multiple health conditions and the impact on my well-being during the holidays, overcommitment, too many events, family pressure, cooking. Let's see. Yep, not having loved ones nearby, finances, just overwhelming, no plans, eating, maybe not getting everything done.
All right. Well, thank you, for sharing those thoughts and ideas. And a lot of those are absolutely true. And so here on this next slide, you will see here, according to the American Psychological Association, about 9 out of 10 of us, adults in the US, really do experience significant stress during the holiday season. And you can see here what some of the top stressors are: finance, followed by gift giving. Those folks who are struggling with missed loved ones, this is often due to grief or loss. Another major stress is there's just too much to do in a very short holiday season, so a very short time. Also dealing with unrealistic expectations. Then here comes the food, managing food and also alcohol consumption. And then folks are stressed because of the distance that prevents them from spending time with their family and friends. That's another common issue. Surprisingly, I thought family conflict, this only came in at 22%. That's actually lower than I expected it to be. And then, of course, rounding out the list here are feelings of loneliness or exclusion, and then the stress of holiday travel. So, really interesting, a lot of commonalities between what you chatted and what's on this slide. So there are a lot of different ways that we can cope with holiday stress. This is just, one approach. Making sure that you acknowledge your feelings. The holidays can bring up sadness, especially if you're grieving or you're missing someone. It is completely normal to have a mix of emotions, but really allowing yourself the space to feel the feelings. So, whether that's crying or journaling or talking to someone you trust, you're not alone in how you feel. Connecting with others can also ease feelings of isolation. So, maybe attending community, religious, or social events, connecting with people like on online groups or even virtual gatherings. And then we know that helping others is also a powerful way to uplift our own spirits. Maybe that's through volunteering or simply dropping off a meal or a holiday treat to someone in need. And also being realistic. So it is not realistic to expect constant joy through the holidays. Families grow, they change, traditions need to evolve as well. So, trying to embrace those changes, keeping in focus what matters most to you, and being open to creating new memories. Now, if a loved one can't, gather in person, schedule a group video call or even start a family text thread. My particular family, we are all located in different states. So ever since COVID, we have kept up a family Zoom meeting every 2 weeks to keep in touch. Also, try to focus in on what unites you rather than what divides. So you want to avoid triggering topics and try to set aside conflicts for now. Everyone is likely to be feeling some form of stress. A little grace can go a long way. Also, when it comes to the budget, so before you start shopping for gifts or even planning the meals, look and set a budget that feels manageable to you. So, sticking to it can really help reduce that financial stress and make the experience more enjoyable. Again, since my family is spread out, we do something called Elfster, which is an online gift exchange. So, we set a spending limit. Everybody gets one person, and then we open the gifts on a video call. Planning. This is really when we need to schedule time for key activities like the shopping and the baking and connecting with friends. Just having a plan can help make the holidays feel more intentional and a bit less overwhelming. Also, saying the word no. It's okay to decline those invitations and requests that really stretch you too thin. You don't even need a long explanation. You can simply say, well, thanks for thinking of me, but I won't be able to make it. That's enough. Don't make up stuff so then you have to go back and remember who you told, what excuse to. No, you simply say, thanks for thinking of me, but I won't be able to make it. And of course, trying to maintain our healthy holiday habits. The holiday indulgence, well, that's all part of the fun. But we do need to try and balance it with our habits that support both your physical and your mental well being. So we need to still eat well. We need to stay active and get enough sleep. Don't forget to take breaks. Even just 15 minutes of quiet time can help you to recharge. Maybe it's a walk, meditation, or simply sitting in silence. Find what calms your mind and grounds you. One of my favorite things is to just sit quietly and focus on a candle. So you should start to make a pact with yourself this holiday season. Commit to moving more and doing something active most days of the week during the holiday season. Look for things that are fun and seasonal activities, maybe joining the turkey trot or a local walk run event, raking leaves, dance to holiday music, walk around to see the holiday lights, or even just follow a quick workout video. Starting out with breakfast, begin each morning with a healthy breakfast. Think of quick things like a smoothie or a muffin that's made with seasonal ingredients like cranberries and nuts. Go for hard-boiled eggs or even a whole grain waffle. One thing I like to do is I make a vegetable frittata. I make that in advance, and so then I can enjoy that all week long. This time of the year, cutting back on sugar is tough. It's also not realistic during this time of the season, but you can choose smaller portions. You can skip the extras like the whipped cream, or you can split a dessert. Just have a plan to enjoy your favorite treats without going overboard. So you want to keep those healthy snacks on hand. That helps curb your cravings. Before you get to the buffet, you're not starving. Sleep is really huge. So you got to try to aim for at least 7 hours of sleep each night. And of course, trying to stick to your regular routine. This is true even when you're traveling. Sometimes it's hard to fall asleep when you're traveling. So bring familiar items. Maybe you could use a sound machine. And just be mindful also of the late night eating and drinking. That can disrupt your sleep. You want to focus on balancing nutritious food, regular movement, quality sleep. This helps keep your energy up and reduce stress. And what's the result? You feel more grounded and better equipped to handle the holiday hustle. Also, make sure to keep those healthy habits going. You don't have to be perfect. Just try to be consistent. So by maintaining some of your healthy habits, you'll avoid that feeling of having to start over when the holidays are done. I can't stand that feeling. All right. So the holiday season, it can be especially difficult when you're grieving the loss of someone close. Now, whether your loss is recent or it happened years ago, those feelings of sorrow can often become really much more intense during this time of year. So we know that grieving is a natural and a personal response to loss. Now, while everybody experiences it differently, your feelings, whatever they may be, are valid. And they may come in waves. They may surface unexpectedly, or you may feel especially overwhelming during the holidays. So you should really pay close attention to your physical and emotional health. This is the time to really be gentle with yourself, nourishing your body with healthy foods, getting rest, and giving yourself some downtime when needed. If you're feeling unwell emotionally or physically, consider checking in with your healthcare provider. Extra support can be really especially helpful during this season. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. Your journey is uniquely yours. So honor your process and don't pressure yourself to feel a certain way or follow a specific timeline. Trust yourself. Give yourself permission to move through grief in your own time. Talking to others who understand what you're going through, that can actually make a real difference. So whether it's grief counseling or a support group, that can offer you comfort, perspective, and reassurance that you're not alone. And being with people who truly get it can ease some of the heaviness and bring a sense of connection. Also, try not to bottle up your emotions. That actually doesn't make them go away. In fact, openly talking about your grief can help you begin to heal. Share your feelings with friends, family members who listen without judgment. Expressing grief is a healthy and important way of getting through the process. Keep in mind, grief can be exhausting physically, emotionally, and mentally. You might feel less motivated or more fatigued, and that's okay. Respect what your body and your heart are telling you. Set realistic expectations for yourself and try not to overcommit. Make space for quiet time and solitude if you need it, but try not to isolate entirely. And also remember that being busy, 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 that doesn't necessarily ease grief. It can actually sometimes delay the healing. Now, as painful as it is, grief is also a reflection of love. You grieve because you loved deeply. And that's a beautiful, meaningful part of being human. Don't let anyone minimize your experience. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And when you're ready, allow yourself to be surrounded by people who care. All right, if you're looking for a sign, this just might be it. How are we going to recognize our symptoms of holiday stress? So, this is what the signs that you should look for: headaches, muscle tension, fatigue, sleep disturbances, even chest tightness. Some people actually don't realize it, but digestive problems can also be a sign of stress. So look for stress and emotional challenges that affect your eating habits, leading to changes in appetite or weight. Maybe you're going to have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. That, of course, stress can worsen that with a busy holiday schedule. And that, of course, creates the cycle of fatigue and irritability. If you find yourself getting sick more often, that could indicate that your immune system is weakened due to lack of self-care. You may be more irritable, have more feelings of being overwhelmed or sad. That also indicates stress. And of course, it may cause you to become less patient and more reactive, which can strain relationships. And if you're experiencing a lingering feeling of sadness, guilt, or low self-worth, that can also be a sign that holiday stress is impacting you deeply. Feeling overwhelmed or on the edge or constantly worrying about things, that can also be an indication that the holiday season is taking its toll. Also, lack of pleasure in activities that you typically enjoy may be another sign that you need to focus on self-care. The pressure to be cheerful and social, during the holidays can make feelings of loneliness and isolation even more challenging. Also, struggling to say the word no. Always feeling obligated to attend every event or meeting everyone's expectations, that can actually lead to burnout. And sometimes we neglect our healthy routines. We maybe skip a meal, we don't eat or exercise. You may also feel sluggish and overwhelmed. And of course, if you're traveling, there's that first night effect, which is common when you're in a new environment. So one study found that this happens because one brain hemisphere is more active at night because it's working to monitor unfamiliar sounds. This is why every creak in the floorboard seems louder or scarier when you're trying to sleep away from home. In addition, just even trying to travel and the time change, that can lead to stress. The different holiday foods, these make you sleepy. Ham, turkey, sweet potatoes, they're going to make you extra sleepy. Alcohol too can make you sleepy. But those types of things can rob you of quality sleep. Sometimes we have just too much stimulation, so it's really hard to unwind. And then, of course, the unpredictable schedule can make it hard to get a good night of sleep. And then there's the thing called the holiday blues. Now, this is a short-term feelings of depression or anxiety that are experienced during the holiday season. Now, you might have the holiday blues if you feel persistent or reoccurring feelings of sadness, problems concentrating, or loss of enjoyment in the things that you really love. Okay, here comes the good news. So the holidays are often filled, of course, busyness, expectations, and stress. This is why self-care matters more than ever. So this season, consider doing things a little bit differently. This might mean stepping out of your comfort zone and choosing to put yourself first. Here's some ways that you can do that with your physical care. Think about prioritizing rest. A lot of times we forget to stay hydrated because when the weather's cool, we forget about the importance of keeping up with our fluid intake and incorporating movement into your day. Even just a short walk would help. Here comes the buffet. So when you're at the buffet or a gathering, you want to choose the seasonal foods that you love and you only get this time of year. But make a plan to enjoy a small taste and then step away from the buffet. Focus on the music, the conversation, the people, and the atmosphere. For emotional and mental self-care, you may want to think about journaling your thoughts to help process emotions, practicing mindfulness. So really try to focus in on the present moment, whether you're sipping hot cocoa or you're watching nature. Notice the birds, the trees, maybe the smell of a fire in the fireplace. Also, setting digital boundaries. So that means limiting the screen time or the social media. That helps to reduce stress and, of course, that temptation to compare ourselves to others. Try to plan meaningful experiences that bring joy instead of focusing solely on the to-do list. When we talk about social self-care, this is about saying no without guilt. When you say no, it allows you to say yes to what truly matters. And try not to do everything. Just choose a few special events or traditions. Reconnect with your loved ones and helping others. We talked about volunteering or small acts of kindness can really be uplifting. When it comes to financial self-care, oh my goodness, people feel a lot of financial pressure during the holidays. You want to give to everybody, but the overspending often leads to stress and regret when those bills come in January. I call that buyer's remorse. Focus on meaningful giving, so like small, thoughtful gifts. Consider giving of your time, so your presence rather than the gift of a present. Also, create time for yourself. This won't happen unless you schedule it. So you have to make time for downtime. And maybe it's things like watching your favorite holiday movie, enjoying a spa day or a quiet drive, or maybe decorating with intention, or just simply time to relax and reflect. So this season, remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's absolutely necessary. You deserve moments of peace, joy, and rest amid the holiday rush. All right, use the chat and let me know, what will you do to care for you this season? Maybe you're going to skip the big parties. Maybe you're going to prepare and bring a healthy treat to the party. Maybe you're going to try to get to sleep on time. Or maybe just listening to some holiday music. Maybe you'll send a holiday email. No Christmas cards this year. Or you're going to order a already ready-made meal. That means less time in the kitchen and more time for socializing. So if you'd like to, go ahead and use the chat. What are you going to do this season to care for yourself?
All right, Laura, we have a few responses coming through. So one says retail therapy.
Ooh.
One person mentioned going to use your no response that you mentioned earlier in the
Mm-hmm.
presentation. Watch a holiday movie. Get manicures or pedicures with my girls.
Oh.
Focus on meaningful gifts. Let's see. I bought myself a ticket to November and December paint nights, holiday themed painting.
Mm.
I love painting. It is soothing. That's a great idea. One person mentioned just taking time for myself, getting like a spa day. Somebody else mentioned the no response, which is great. Someone bought themselves a ticket to the Nutcracker Ballet. That's great.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great, Kristen. Well, thank you so much for participating in that.
sure.
We're moving right along. Here are some ways that we can help ground ourselves. So grounding techniques are simple, practical ways that you can calm your mind, ease anxiety, and reconnect to the present moment. Now, there are a lot of different strategies that you can do, right, to relieve stress and to restore your balance. So, a couple of them are like you could do the deep breathing. This is conscious, slow breathing, which helps activate your body's relaxation response. So, you inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, and then you exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. And just taking a few minutes to do this will help reduce tension and calm your nervous system. Also, you can engage your senses. So you tune into your surroundings using your senses. You notice what you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. So this sensory awareness anchors you into the present moment and helps reduce those racing thoughts and bring a sense of calm. You could do progressive muscle relaxation. This involves systematically tensing and then relaxing different muscle groups. You normally start with your toes and you work up to your head. You tense each area for a few seconds and then release. So, this technique increases awareness of where you're having physical tension and it physical tension and encourages your full body relaxation. Visualization is another one. So this is when you use your imagination to create a peaceful mental escape. Maybe you'll picture a serene beach, a quiet forest, or a cozy cabin, any place that feels safe and relaxing. Try to engage all of your senses in the visualization as well. So, this helps to switch your focus away from stressors into a more calming mental space. Even short bursts of physical activity, like stretching or walking, or even a few minutes of exercise, that can boost your mood. So, these movements release endorphins. That's your brain's natural feel good chemicals, and it helps reduce symptoms of anxiety and stress. Nature. Spending time outdoors is a powerful way to ease stress and promote emotional well being. So, what maybe a walk through the park, or sitting quietly in a garden, or hiking in the woods. Nature helps you to slow down, to breathe more deeply, and to reconnect with what really matters. So, these grounding techniques, they're simple, but they're powerful. They can help you feel more centered, present, and resilient during the holidays. On this next slide, we are going to watch one. This is a grounding exercise. So let me go ahead and play this video. past the commercial. Let me see. I want to get this. Okay. Start from the beginning here.
Hi, Laura. I can't hear it.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. Oops. I apologize.
You want to know, are you
Let me know
feeling
if you can
anxious
hear
or
it.
overwhelmed, or maybe do you plan on feeling anxious or overwhelmed in the
Yeah.
next week?
That's
I'm going to try this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. If you're new here, then my name is Dr. Elisha Goldstein. I am a psychologist for the past couple decades. I am an author multiple times and creator of the mental health accelerator program called Uncover the Power Within. If you want to know how to work with me more directly in that program, go ahead and click on the links in the description below. Okay, so the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique to me is an awesome technique for many, many reasons. One is that wherever your focus goes, you invite an energy to flow. And so when we focus on our worries, we tend to feel more anxious and overwhelmed. We do that to our nervous system. The more anxious and overwhelmed our nervous system is, the more worried we get. So we need to shift our focus. Wherever our focus goes, we invite an energy flow, and that's the way the brain grows. Okay, so the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique involves our senses. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to look around our environment and be aware of 5 things that we see. This is all a practice of understanding that our environment influences our mental health. You have a chaotic environment, you're going to create more anxiety. You have an environment where things are a bit more serene or open, you're going to create more calm. So you look around. Right now I'm looking around. I'm outside. I see green leaves. I see a brown tree trunk. I'm walking my dogs actually right now, so I see my dogs in front of me. I see a blue sky, really no clouds around. And I also see some houses, this particular one that's blue next to me. Okay, that's the first thing, 5 things. The next thing, 4 things that you can feel. So you look around and you might go, I know what this feels like, but be open to being surprised. You might be surprised. Happens many times. My wife and I both led many retreats where we go around doing stuff like this, and people are often surprised by the way something feels. And so you go around, you feel 5 things. I can feel even just my clothes right here. I can feel if I want the fur of my dog right here. I can feel the air against my skin. There's so many different things to feel. That's number 4. So 4 things that you can feel. Next thing, 3 things that you can hear. So you might need to close your eyes for this one. 3 things where you hear. I just heard some dog barking over there. I can hear the wind in my ear, and I can hear my dog panting. Those are 3 things. As a bonus, I can hear a car going by right now. So 3 things you can hear. Then 2 things that you can smell. You see how I'm going through our senses here? 2 things that you can smell. You can lean over and smell a flower. You can smell some food that's in your kitchen or in your house if you're inside. You can smell the bark of a tree, whatever you want to smell. You can smell the perfume of someone that's around you. If that's, that has to be something that is consented. So, and then the last thing, 1 thing that you can taste. And so you go and you can sip your tea, you can sip your water, you can sip your drink, you can taste the food around you. If you have a garden, just grab something out of there, taste that. Just really bringing in, chewing it as many times as you need to. Slow is better. And then you just settle into that. So We can use our environments to calm our minds. This again is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique that you can use anywhere, anytime to come down from anxiety and overwhelm and back into your life. If this was helpful to you, please make sure to like this video. And if you're new here, please do subscribe to this channel as go around. You feel.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that quick video. Again, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. I like it because you can do it, like he said, anywhere, anytime. So let's shift gears and talk about you. Not the gifts, not the meals or the endless invites, just you. The holidays are a time of giving, but that includes giving to yourself as well. So this is when you have an opportunity to create a self-care plan. This isn't selfish, it's smart. It protects your energy, your mental health, and your joy during one of the busiest times of the year. In a culture that glorifies being busy, 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 let's flip the script. Less doing and more being. So less pressure, more presence. So that's a less is more mindset. And what does this do? This invites you to release those unrealistic standards. You don't have to attend every event or make every dish from scratch. It invites you to be intentional with your time and your energy. Not everything deserves a yes. And it helps you to focus in on meaning over appearance. Joy doesn't come from packed schedules and picture perfect tables. It comes from authenticity. Authenticity. Okay. Sorry. Connection and peace. Identify what are your non-negotiables, things that you must do to feel grounded. They're not luxuries. These are the essentials. So maybe it's alone time, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's a morning walk, journaling, or prayer. And setting those realistic expectations. Perfection is not the goal. Peace is. So try this mantra. I release the need to make everything perfect. I choose to be present instead. That was, I release the need to make everything perfect. I choose to be present instead. Ask yourself, can you lower the bar a little in areas that cause you the most stress? What truly matters to you this season? What can you let go? It's okay to skip traditions that no longer serve you, or limit time with draining people, or buy store-bought instead of homemade. Again, you have to schedule the self-care like an important appointment. If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. So whether it's a 30-minute walk, or you're going to read a chapter in a book, a therapy session, or just taking the night off from socializing, you really have to block it out and treat it as it's non-negotiable. Your well-being really isn't extra. It's actually foundational. So I have here on the screen sort of your homework, thinking about 3 things that you will say yes to and 3 things that you can cross off your list this holiday season. Again, using the chat, what self-care strategy are you excited to try? Maybe you're going to plan ahead. We already heard some folks said that they're just simply going to say no to things that they don't have time for or don't want to do. Maybe you'll limit time with family that you don't really enjoy. Or maybe you'll get away by yourself. Maybe you'll try the grounding technique or deep breathing or meditation or a digital detox. So go ahead and put in the chat some of your ideas. Maybe it's just listening to soothing music or taking a walk. Enjoy seeing the lights on the houses in your neighborhood, or just enjoying a cup of tea by candlelight, meeting a friend for lunch. One of my favorites, ordering DoorDash. let me know, Kristen, if there's any other ideas people have come up with. What is going to be your self-care strategy?
Yeah, someone mentioned doing pottery with their friend. Someone mentioned when thinking about changing traditions, it is useful to quote unquote bless them and then release them.
Nice.
Yeah, someone mentioned saying no, setting budgets for sure, taking longer walks with their dogs or any, kind of pet you may have.
Yeah.
Focus on self-care and just improving sleep.
Great.
Yeah, getting massages. And earlier someone mentioned, when people reach out to them to do stuff to where they might get overwhelmed, just reply back by saying, I'll get back to you on that. So they can
Perfect.
think about it if they really have time to schedule all these get togethers with folks.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you again for participating. So this is sort of my takeaways summary slide here. I hope that you feel that you have some strategies that you could take away for the holiday season that's coming up, and that you'll take some time to make your own self-care plan, whether that's, managing holiday stress through acknowledging your feelings or setting boundaries or planning ahead and budgeting wisely, or maybe that's, staying active and, eating mindfully, practicing, moderation and consistency, or maybe that's just, recognizing when you are stressed, connecting with others and allowing yourself some space, especially if you're grieving or you're healing. And maybe you'll try some of those self-care strategies by scheduling downtime or your self-care appointments, or trying one of the grounding techniques, either deep breathing, sensory connection, visualization, nature time, any of that. Okay, so I thank you for your time today. These next slides here are on programs that help our HealthNet members maintain their healthy habits. And of course, our members can find all of our wellness programs and other resources by logging onto their HealthNet account. And the health risk assessment, talked about this before. This is a snapshot of your health status in key areas. Takes about 20 minutes to take that. And if you don't have HealthNet, check with your health plan for similar offerings. Health coaching. As we get into the season here, you may want to think about working with a health coach, making some changes at this time of the year so you can stay motivated and on track. And remember that you don't have to do it alone. Craving to Quit. This is our tobacco cessation program, and it's designed for users who are ready to quit to permanently quit their addiction to tobacco. And also Kick It California has the same type of free program. And if you're looking to make some of those improvements in your eating or just to maintain your eating habits, you may want to check out Eat Right Now. And we know, of course, the holiday season and life is stressful. Unwinding by ShareCare is open to all. So if you want to look at some videos and tools and modules on decreasing chronic stress, this may be for you as well. And then, of course, we offer discounts to our members in the areas of weight management, chiropractic and acupuncture care, hearing aids, and also our fitness club discount. And don't forget to check out, HealthNet members, check out the online health challenges. They'll have some great ones coming up for the holiday season. Again, open to everybody. Usually these are 30-day challenges around topics of stress, steps, sleep, and nutrition. And join us next month. November will be Unified Self. How can we unite our mind, body, and our spirit? We know that our whole body is connected, which means our emotions influence our body and vice versa. So in this webinar next month, we're going to learn how to keep a positive connection between your mind, body, and your spirit. Again, thank you so much for your time today. Everyone who registered for this webinar will receive a link to the recording in just a few days. Thank you for your time, and you may exit the webinar.